I'm going to show you how I go from this to this. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Well, this is another makeup transformation video. I do them occasionally, and now I'm about 6 or 7 weeks away from turning 63, so I thought it would be a good time to show another one, because the older we get, the more transformation I need. But anyway, part of, people tell me all the time you don't look your age. Well, part of that for me is diet, and part of it is skincare, part of it is makeup. It's not jeans. And I've shown this picture before in some of my videos, including my intro video on my channel of my dad and me. I was 17 in this picture. I think he was 52. So yeah, that's how he looked, and he had a stroke when he was 53, died when he was 57. So those are my genes, and I have my dad's skin. So I made a diet change when I was 38, and never looked back, and was starting, they're coming out with better products in the mid-90s, like better sunscreens and other kinds of things for skincare. So I've incorporated those into my skincare routine over years, and I have whole playlists of videos where I show skincare and anti-aging, and those are linked in the description box below. But before I forget, I also want to tell you that I have a free document for you. It's 3 pages of my best anti-aging tips. So it's diet and skincare and makeup in 3 pages, and I give that out for free. Now, to get that, you have to go to my website, which is gloryb-tv.com/get-tips. And on that page, type your email address, click the pink Get My Tips button, and you'll get the tips. So I think you'll really enjoy that document. Now, all the products I'm going to be using today, including brushes, because some of the brushes I have are really nice to use on my face. Being older and not wanting to have big brushes all over my eyes and not wanting to spend a ton of money on brushes. I'm always interested in what kind of brushes. So you might be interested too. So everything is going to be linked in the description box. Now, how you get to the description box depends on whether you're watching on a phone or a computer. Phone meaning phone, mobile, anything that's not a computer, YouTube considers to be mobile. And of course, as I'm filming this, YouTube has been messing with that, and different people are seeing slightly different things on their phone or their tablet. I have an iPhone 11, so what I'm going to show you is how the iPhone 11 still works. And what you do is you go below the video, and on the right side there's a little V. You tap that little V, and that opens the description box partially, and then you'll see the word more. Tap that word more, and that opens the description box completely. And all the products that I'm showing today if you scroll down, you'll see a all capitals heading that says products shown or mentioned. Now, some people who have a different type of phone or some other mobile device, they don't see the little V anymore. Now, when they look below the video, maybe right below the title, they're seeing the word more right away. So if you see that word more, tap it, and that opens the description box completely. If you're watching on a computer, go below the video on the left side. Sometimes lately I've seen it on the right side, but on the left side, you'll see the word show more. Anywhere in the screen, left or right, if you see those words show more, click it with your mouse on a computer, and that opens the description box completely, and everything is there. Now we're going to get right to the demo. I'm going to start with a clean face where I've already done all of my skincare and had a little time go by, so my face isn't wet from all the skincare products. Everything's dried off. Nothing is creamy or anything anymore. Don't you hate that when you put your skincare on and it's time to put on your makeup and everything's wet? Anyway, I'm all set to go, and yeah, look like a mugshot on my thumbnail. So here we go, right to the demo. Okay, we're all set to transform my face. I'm going to start by putting on some lip gloss. I saw a couple other YouTubers do this. City Lips Plumping Gloss. This plumping gloss doesn't hurt, it doesn't sting, but it does plump your lips a little bit. So I have the clear, and if you'd like to try this, I have a discount code for you. So make sure to check the description box below the video, which I've already shown you how to do. YouTube keeps changing how the description box opens in mobile. It's still the same on a computer, but depending on what kind of phone you have, somebody just showed me their Android and their iPad, which is completely different from my iPhone 11. So thanks, YouTube. So now I'm going to start with what I always start with, an under eye corrector. I use this one by Pixie. It comes in 2 colors. Someone recently told me that Flower Beauty also has a good corrector. Since Flower Beauty is very affordable, I'm going to have to try that someday. I'm using a brush by e.l.f. Also very affordable, but I might need to use my 10x mirror. I have a 5x mirror in front of me here. Actually, the 5x will be okay. And I'm just going to pat some of that in. And whether I use a little or a lot, it just depends on my mood. Because I have another video where I did one eye this way, and then another eye I used a much smaller, more of an eyeliner brush. And this is just really good for what I call my tear troughs. When I look down like this, you can see I don't have puffy under eyes. Mine are sunken in under this bone. So besides that and the discoloration, this just helps to neutralize that so that you don't see the troughs. You, looking at me, don't see the troughs so much. Now, with a little bit of corrector I still have on my brush here, I can go over some other little discoloration, maybe some pink redness in my cheeks, and any kind of dark spots, especially depending on the foundation I'm using. If the freckle face kid, I still have some freckles turning into age spots, but I had freckles all over my face. I was one of those in the early 70s trying to use lemon juice to get that off, get the freckles off, which, we weren't too far off because that is vitamin C. It was just kind of sticky. Now for foundation today, I'm going to use my Estee Lauder Double Wear. I chose this one for this video because this comes in so many colors. You can find it in a lot of places. Now this is more of my summer color. So I got this maybe in August and we tested it in the store. I had an employee help me. So I might go get another one of these once, this neck area gets lighter for the winter, because my face is still pretty light because I use a sunscreen every day. So you'll see this looks really beige on my pinky toned skin, but that's okay. The only thing is it didn't come with a pump. I've seen online some people have bought a pump that comes, it's like instead of this cap, you take the cap off and put the pump on and screw it on and have the pump, which is really nice. That, or I like my Emlin foundation has a paddle inside. I like the paddle. I'm not in love with this. So I'm going to start with a slightly damp Beauty Blender sponge and maybe use a brush after that. So let's see how far I get. I like to moosh it around. I admire the YouTubers who just dot the foundation on their skin and then go from there. But I'm going to use, so this is this is slightly damp from yesterday when I washed it. I like to check all the pores and anywhere where I've had dryness. I've had weird kind of things going on my forehead, left and right sides lately with my skin, and a little bit on either side of my nose. But depending on the foundation I use, it either makes that stand out more or it doesn't show a whole lot. But this foundation I wore in mid-September. A friend and I went to a conference. She's 10 years younger than I am. And I remember on Friday night around 7 o'clock, we were sitting in the big auditorium and she looked at my skin and said, "Have you touched up your makeup today?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Oh my gosh, it looks like, you know, you just put it on." So skincare and diet are working, and so is makeup. So this particular makeup is really nice. So yeah, looking at it, I can see when my neck and my chest get lighter in winter, this might look too dark. But otherwise, it does match. Okay, so brush wise, if I was gonna go for it with a brush, one of my favorite is this one from e.l.f. I call it a stipple brush. So that will be linked below. Another one that I like, I got from Il Makiage, and to go around the edges. Anywhere else where I see, let's see, I'm going to use a, this is a 5X mirror. Not as good for it might, well, okay. So I'm almost 63, but I have had cataract surgery on both eyes, which helped a lot. But in my left eye, now I have a new floater. It's not the old floater's still there, which looks like a little piece of hair. But the new floater, my eye doctor can't even see it. That's why we know it's a floater. Although someday I'd like another opinion. But it washes over my eye like a film. And it's especially noticeable when I'm in my studio here with the studio lights. It goes like this, and I'm like, ugh. So if you ever see my eyes go weird, that's why. You know, so then I'm looking at all our little lines, and you know, when I was a teenager, I popped blackheads. I really didn't have pimples, but I did pop blackheads, which is sad. You know, I wish my mom had taken me to a dermatologist and esthetician back then to say, don't do that. Here's a better way to clean out those blackheads. You know, maybe a product. They have so many products today that are just fabulous for that. So now my pores are kind of big. Anyway. So what I like about this foundation is that it's not sitting on top of my skin. You know, when a foundation sits on top of your skin and you see it in the pores and it just doesn't look like it's part of your skin. This foundation doesn't do that. Okay, and here's the e.l.f. brush. The e.l.f. brush is nice. It's really, gosh, all the brushes in e.l.f. are reasonably priced. So if you find a nice one. Well, I think that's good. So now what I'm going to do, and in my earlier videos, I didn't do this very often, but I am going to use a concealer that's a little brighter. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy in the color 20B. So depending on my tear troughs, I normally didn't put anything brighter here in a concealer because I didn't want the tear trough to stand out. But I think with this one, I can get away with it without it emphasizing the trough. So I'm just going to put a little bit here. This is a brand new one. I used my other one completely. Okay, that's a lot. And then I'm going to use a different beauty blender, which is slightly damp from yesterday. It's not wet, it's just damp. And I'm going to tap that in. Now, before I set that, I'm going to do two more things. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick, and this is in the color Mink, so it's not overly brown, it's more taupe. I like to get these gels down here and a little bit on my nose, and then I'm going to buff that out. I don't even think they make this brush anymore, but it's another flat brush. This was by Eco Tools, I think, and these flat brushes are really great for highlighters and contour. For highlighter, I'm using my Emlin under eye corrector. I used to use this for under eye, now I just use it for highlighting, and it's so creamy. It lasts for years, and it lasts and stays creamy until it wears out, which is, you know, like 3 or 4 years. So I'm just going to put a little bit here and a little bit here on the side of my nose. I could also put some on the top of my cheekbone, but I'm not going to do that right now. And I used yet another Eco Tools brush to buff it out. Now I'm ready to set the under eye, and I have a few products that I'm going to use for that. One is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, but you can use any setting spray you want. And also a translucent powder. So I like, you can use a loose powder or a pressed. I like a pressed. This is by NYX, probably one of the more affordable. And then I have yet another e.l.f. brush. And I'm just going to spray the back of my hand, tap my ring finger into the liquid, and pat it on that area under my eye. This is setting that whole under eye area to make it look really smooth and have it last all day. And I'm just going to keep patting that in. That's all the liquid I'm going to use until it feels mostly dry. Then I'm going in with the powder and just lightly tapping that into that area. Now normally next I would put some pressed powder on my face, but I decided to use this one today in a big fluffy brush because I'm going to use some powder on my cheeks, and when I film my nose looks really shiny, so I'm going to put some on there too. And that's that. I couldn't decide between blush or bronzer because a lot of times this bronzer that I have from L'Oreal, the Lumi bronzer from True Match, this is usually enough for blush. So let's see what it looks like. I have a brush that I use just for bronzer. This one has a little bit of luminescence in it. I'll have all my colors in the description box below too. So I'm going to put it on kind of like it's blush. And even though it's this brown beige color, it can look like that's enough. Well, just because I brought the blush with me, I'm going to use it. This is from Red Apple Lipstick, which you would think would be a lipstick company, but they sell other things as well. This is in the color Milady, and I'm going to use a brush from their company as well. This is a really pretty combination of pink and coral. And I do have a discount code for you from them as well. They're a small woman-owned company, so I like to support companies like that. Okay. And then I'm going to use my big fluffy brush over that, just in case it looks like too much blush in the video. Okay, so that is my face. Now I'm ready for my eyes. I'm going to start with a little bit of eyeliner. This is the Lancome Kohl pencil in, I think it's the black ebony. It's the black in any case. And I can only get as close as I can. I can't do true tight lining like under here. It's just, my eyes can't handle it, and my eyes will water. And yeah, they'll water, and then yeah, it'll just be a bad situation. So it is what it is. I saw like YouTuber Marnie Goldberg, she even stopped using eyeliner some time ago, and her eyes look fabulous. Her eye makeup always looks wonderful. So yeah. Now before I do my brows, for eyeshadow, I grabbed my Z palette. So this is a bunch of colors. You can kind of see it's magnetized and it's dirty, but it has a lot of my favorites that I've depotted. But one of my favorite brands to just get eyeshadow from, to put in here, that I don't even have to depot because they come as individual, is Anastasia Beverly Hills. Some of the colors are harder to find. This one I just found at Amazon. It's one of my favorites. It's called Fresh, and it's a wonderful just base color with no shimmer. And then this shimmer one I bought, I'm gonna get this from it. This is Vermeer. Again, the Fresh was hard to find. I would suggest, if you want to put together something like this, they have, some Z palettes are smaller than this, but this is a perfect size for me. And then everything some of my favorites are here. Now, some of the things that are in here are from Urban Decay. Urban Decay doesn't sell them individually like this. I don't know if they used to, but they don't now. And now they're in a pot that's so, it used to be easier to get them out with the whole depotting thing that between the heating it or the bottom of it. I just, you know what I use? I don't even buy the expensive Z palette heater. I use just one of those coffee mug warmers, and I put the eyeshadow thing on it. I just keep moving it, and then there's a little tool you can use to carve it out. Well, the last time I bought an Urban Decay single color, I had such a hard time getting out. I ended up breaking, it was like an $18 eyeshadow. I'm not doing that again. So that's what I'm going to be using. And I have some taupey colors in here, some dark taupey colors. And I'm actually going to go in with that first. And I'm going to slightly go over that eyeliner, and then a little bit on the lower lid, just part way. Okay, if I want that darker later, I can make it darker. Now I'm going to do my brows. I have Anastasia Beverly Hills. Boy, I keep saying that name today. Brow Wiz in the color taupe. And I'll speed this up to make it go faster. Okay, now for shadow, and I am going to start with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, that lightest color. I use it as an all-over base. Then I'm going to go in with one of these taupes. Let's see, this is an Urban Decay called Laced. I don't even think they make this anymore, but I would, if you like these colors, I would suggest that you look at Anastasia Beverly Hills. And if you find any other companies that are selling individual, especially if they're matte, individual matte eyeshadows in lighter colors, not the super dark. I don't need any more super dark colors at my age. I need lighter, brighter. Even for this transition area up here, I don't need something super dark. If you find that, please write a comment below. I would love to know how, you know, who's selling them individually, or something that's sold individually that's really easy to depot and it's not breaking when you try to get it out of its container in order to put it into the Magnetic Z palette. Okay, I'm doing my transition area here so that when I look at you, my eyes are open, I look at you, a little bit of that color shows up, which now I realize I do need to hold up a mirror to see that. So I've got a tiny bit of it peeking through, especially at that outer corner out here. And this is another brush by e.l.f. Okay, and then you can use any brush that's called a, I don't know what they call that, something to, let's see, that one's not sold anymore. This is Sonia Kashuk. This is Be a Nice One. I don't know, is she still selling brushes? But it's nice for blending. So anyway, anything that looks like that is a good blending brush. So now I want to do something at the outer corner. Since this is all I brought with me, I'm going to use this little angled brush that's very, very old. It's almost, oh my gosh, this brush is almost, I would say it's 35 years old. From a kit from Color Me Beautiful. That's how old it is. And I'm just going to go into my crease, but a little bit above and down to the, around the eyeball, around the mobile lid. So it's a little darker than the one I just used, but it's not super dark. And this one that I'm using, they don't even make this anymore. But again, if you look at Anastasia Beverly Hills or just look at the eyeshadows you have, you can find something in a darker taupe. That is matte. I'm not putting anything shiny. I'm not putting anything shimmery here. So now I'm onto my mobile lid. I am going to use something a little more shimmery. So I've got a couple shimmers in here. One is a deeper purple and one is more of a burgundy pink. I'll use the burgundy pink. Just, let's see, it's this one. Again, not made again, but there's so many shimmer out there. As long as it's not glitter, the glitter, I hope they stop making those pretty soon. The glitter shadows, they're messy. They tend to have a lot of fallout. So I'm just putting this on the mobile lid, not above the crease, below the crease. And just on that lower, let's see, the outer portion, maybe the outer third of the mobile lid. There might be some palettes in your drawer that you have that still have shimmer colors that maybe you haven't touched. And this is one way you can use them. And then I'm going to go in with another little brush about this size and go in with a creamy color shimmer. And these color shimmers are in a lot of palettes. And I'm going to do the rest down to the inner corner and the center of that mobile lid. And then there's one more trick that I found after I blend this out. One more trick, actually, I'll clean my face up first. I use this brush just for that. Whose brush is this? Real Techniques, I think. And that is, I used to use a white eyeliner for this. I don't use that anymore. Now I use this one from Stila in the color Abalone. So it's not white, but it's got some little highlight in it that catches the light and goes as a brightener. So I'm just gonna dab it into this corner, inner corner, and then soften it with my ring finger. So put a little bit in this corner and then switch hands and soften it with my ring finger. Okay. Now I'm ready for mascara. And since I'm not telling a story that you actually want to listen to in this video, I'm not vlogging with my makeup, I'll speed this up. This is one of my favorite mascaras, Roller Lash. And by the way, so my lashes used to be shorter. They've always been blonde. So what I'm going to tell you didn't change the color of my lashes, but it did change the length. And I have a couple of videos where I buy a generic Latisse and I buy it overseas, and it's so much cheaper. Even with the shipping fee, it's so much cheaper than anything else. And other people have written comments in those videos saying, I get generic Latisse at this place and it's only this much. So I go look at the website, I add in their shipping, and I'm like, I'm still paying less per bottle. So if I buy 3 bottles at a time, add the shipping on, and it's costing me, you know, you divide that by 3 for the whole kit and caboodle, and I'm still getting the best price. And I apply this every night. I once cut back to 3 or 4 nights a week, and I didn't like the results. So I put it on every night. I show in those videos. I'll link that video in a card in the upper right corner, and I'll also link it in the description box below. Maybe I'll also put it at the end as an end card if you watch to the end of the video, and you can just tap or click to get that video and see how I apply it. And it really works. It's not one of these things where you cross your fingers and hope it works. It's generic Latisse, it works. Latisse, what did I say it was? For the little 3 milliliter bottle, as of this filming, it's about $110 for generic Latisse. Where I think, I'm trying to remember how much I paid last time with shipping for 3 bottles, and when you divide my grand total dollar amount by 3, I think I was paying $18 a bottle. Anywho, I also show you how I use it so that I don't over, because when I first started using it, oh, I guess I'm not speeding this up. I am telling a story. When I first started using this generic Latisse, the Care Pros, I was using a full drop. And I'd apply a little bit to each lash, and then I'd be like, okay, now I have to rinse this away. So I figured out how to use a fraction of a drop so, you know, it lasts longer. For my lower lashes, I like to use Maybelline Full and Soft because I can do them without making a big mistake. Now watch, I'll get it all over. I'm gonna go do my hair, and I'll get some lip color, and I'll be right back. I'm ready for my lips. I've already wiped off the plumping lip gloss. I have 2 colors today. First, I'm going to apply this Clinique Nude Pop color. It's kind of a warm tone. There's nothing dark or bold about it, but I'm going to put on top of it this L'Oreal in Peach Fuzz. It has a little bit of shimmer. To finish it off. So I did talk earlier about my lashes growing longer, so make sure to check out that video. And if I think of another video that you might be interested in taking makeup to the next level for someone over 60 to look a little brighter, a little less tired, a little less 60 or 63 in my case, then check out one of my other videos. You can tap one of the images on the right side of your screen, and I'll see you in the next video.